when people have talked about you so well, I don't know what I can say, but the truth is, that is who I am. It is Guelph, University of Guelph, Ontario, Canada. That's where the Lord blessed me with a master's degree. I'm here to talk to us about three things. I want to talk to you about you and your leadership. Then I want to talk to you about your Sacco. Then I'll talk to you about your legacy. The moment I got this topic, so many things have gone on in my mind. Some of them I'll share with you as I move on. The theme, as I got it, risk management for a vibrant cooperative movement. There's one question I want us to answer by the time we leave this session. The question is, how does your leadership enhance risk management operations? Because if you manage risk in some operations, chances are there will be very little leakages. Chances are any attack coming from out will be prevented. Chances are the Sacco will grow in liquidity. Chances are there will be more to lend to members. And if we give the members proper education, chances are that they will invest the loans productively. Then they come for more loans. And as they come for loans, the Sacco gets more revenue. And all of us become winners. How does your leadership enhance risk management in Sacco operations? To me, what is a vibrant cooperative movement? To me, it means many things. One of which is a movement that is economically growing in many areas. A movement that is economically growing up in many areas. A movement that is transformative. A movement that is sustainable. A movement that creates wealth for members. One way of achieving the above is having in place watertight risk management controls. One of the things that has been really disturbing me of late is, if I become rich in the midst of poor, stricken villagers or people in Nairobi, how will I survive? Have you ever asked yourself that a time is going to come, if we don't wake up, you will not enjoy your wealth? Recently I went home, and the information I got was, make sure you are home by 7. Because kuna vijana wanarandarana na panga. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is what we are going to encounter unless we make a paradigm shift. What a better way to become a leader of a Sacco. I've always said, many times I wanted people to tell me to tell Ruto that if you want to eradicate poverty in this country, invest heavily in cooperative movement. Let us educate people to eat less today so that they can eat more tomorrow. But nobody has heard me. Will you tell me to say I'll talk to the president? So having said that, the question is, what objective do I have? I've got one objective I've divided into 3. I want to critically evaluate leadership that results into many things, 3 of which are: number 1, leaders who are financially secure and enjoy the same or better socioeconomic welfare indicators long after they've left leadership. Number 2, leaders who leave behind positive attributes and lasting legacies that create room for sustainable business growth and continuity many years after you exceed leadership. Then leaders who prepare the next crop of leaders through a well-coordinated planning through a well-coordinated sufficient planning for seamless change or in any key department when the CEO leaves or the chairman exits. Do we make the deliberate move to ensure that there may be seamless replacement of leaders as they leave, so that we do not have disruption in the operations of the Sacco? Do we do that? What will you leave behind after being a director or a senior staff of the Sacco? What will you leave behind after having been a director of the Sacco or after having been a senior staff of the Sacco? What legacy? Leading beyond your Sacco. What are some of the things that will be said long after you've left the Sacco? What are some of the things that will make you walk with your head high wherever you go? This morning, I bumped into somebody who is also training around here, and I said, oh, you are the father of cooperative training. That made me happy. Even if I die now for some time, some people will think about me positively. As a director, as a senior manager, as a CEO, what are you leaving behind? Leaving beyond your Sacco. I've got about 4 questions here I want to ask. Number one, will you leave poverty or growth? Personally, will you be stable financially or a beggar a few years after leaving the Sacco? Unaona nimeona hiyo clip mpaka nimesema I wish I was younger. I would want to work in a Sacco or become a Sacco director. Yani unaenda Thailand. Imagine all those. All expenses paid for by the Sacco. What are you leaving behind? So that the next generation can also enjoy what you have enjoyed. Number two, are you going to leave poverty or growth? As you exceed leadership one day, will you look back and see a wealthy membership and a rapidly growing Sacco? What are you leaving behind? If you leave this Sacco where you are, and 2 years later or 3 years later the Sacco crumbles, then you are the worst of a leader. A good leader leads things that talk positively long after he has left the scene. I've been asking myself, when Dr. Robert Ouko died, did he die with the foreign policy of Kenya? Since Ouko died, did Kenyan foreign policy die? I don't know. When you leave the Sacco, will the Sacco go under? Will you leave poverty for you? Will you leave poverty for the Sacco and the membership? Na ile swali lazima tujibu. And I want you to be very clear about this. It makes no sense if I don't become rich and my subjects become poorer and poorer. You will not enjoy your wealth. How many people know that there was a time Mungiki walifuruta mataikun in Murang'a and Kiambu? They all went back to Nairobi. How many people can remember that? Now the walls are as high as this. Na kuna ubakali, but they still ran back to Nairobi. And what happens when Nairobi becomes inhabitable? Where will we run? Somebody told me something that really hurt me in 1990. Kuna mzungu aliniambia nyinyi wa Afrika, you were created an afterthought. And we were very bitter about it. And I asked him, what do you mean? Viongozi wenu wanaiba pesa yote wanatuletea huko. Alafu mnakula mahindi ya yellow. That time, Kenyans were eating yellow maize. So the question was, how can you ask to lead? Then instead of leading, you leave behind a devastating community. Why? Because we're independent more than you love them. Number three, will you be a longed-for leader by members, other board members and staff because of your vision, honesty, transparency after your seat? Or will they say good riddance? You know, there are some people when they leave leadership, what wanalia? I don't know if they know this. Hawali because you are bad, but wanalia because of what they are going to lose. Are you the kind of leader people will cry because of your visionary leadership that creates growth for not only you, but even the members of the Sacco? Number four, how strong will the processes, policies, structures, and systems be by the time you are exiting leadership or employment. Let me tell you one thing I've noted in this country. People are very concerned about increase in asset base. The question they do not ask themselves is, how is the ground? How is the foundation? Can the foundation sustain that growth? When somebody left Mumia Sugar Company, within 2 years, Mumia scrambled. Were there systems and structures? When you leave your son, even if you will be a 10 billion asset, a 15 billion asset, what are the structures? What are the systems? What are the procedures and policies you as a leader is leaving behind? Leaving beyond SACCOs. Because if there are strong structures and strong pillars of governance and leadership, then the SACCO will live many years after you have seen. And for me, that is the pride. Where I come from, wanasemanga, ukienda huko mbinguni, on the day of judgment, matendo yako yote zitakuwa mbele yako. Na ukapewa screen Donge. You were once a lecturer or a teacher or a consultant trainer. You misled people. Or when Donge ulikuwa director, I'm a CEO, and when you left, I'm not saying I'm an angel. I also have weaknesses. But one thing that really kills me is, we are so happy in this country, expanding our economic horizons, and leaving majority of the people devastated in poverty. You guys are good. The reason why I say you are good, I happen to know all the SACCOs that are here. I may not know you by name, but you guys are doing a good job. But the question I need to ask is, how strong are the structures? How strong are the pillars of growth? And how often you test them to see whether they are still strong and sound. Tusidanganyane about poverty. Tell your brother or sister next to you, tusidanganyane about poverty. I want to hear some people talking. Tusidanganyane about poverty. Why am I saying this? A person who cannot make ends meet due to poverty, or a person who lives way beyond his or her wallet size due to poor personal financial management, can only be a good leader if she or he is, number one, genuinely born again, number two, genuinely filled with the Holy Ghost, number three, genuinely speaks in heavenly tongues. Otherwise, kitaumana. Many has got a way of asking people, kwani, when you utakuwa kwanza kuniiba, when you utakuwa kwanza kunimisuse, my friend, this country haina policy. In fact, if anything, money will tell you, the rich do not taste prison. So today I want to talk to us about, briefly, not that you don't know. In fact, many of you are richer than me, but allow me just to talk to you briefly about personal financial management, which we talked about the other year. But wacha nikuambie, kama kuna kitu inasumbua watu na inanisumbua ni pesa. Pesa inaingia inatoka, inaingia inatoka, inaingia alafu inaita problem. Pesa. So, what is personal financial management? This is prudent management of personal finance that leads to, number one, better cash flow management. That means when you get your salary now, you will be liquid until the next salary comes. Personal financial management. But the contrary is the truth. In Kenya here, 90% of salary people get broke 5 days after salary. When we do proper financial management, what happens? It leads to better mobilization and accumulation of funds or savings at the Sacco. For if only I could be made younger again, If only my age could be reduced by 10, 15 years, na niwe kwa job, I will save like a fool. And you save like you don't know what you're going to eat. Because had I woken up there and saved the way I should have saved, because kazi nimepata, pesa nimeshika, how come you still can afford me here? How come? I am still shouting for money. How come? It is because I made a mistake. A terrible mistake that still makes me available and affordable. When you manage your finances well, number 3, it allows to easy accessibility and utilization of the mobilized funds from the Sacco using the multiplier effect. Number 4, using the same money that you have borrowed from the Sacco, you look for prudent investments and you continue to create wealth even long after you have left the Sacco. Any leader who cannot manage his or her finances well is a risk to the institution because he or she is a potential thief. Hallelujah! Muda ambaye akipata 10,000, he behaves like he has developed what I call temporary insanity. Have you seen men and women when they get money they behave like they're not normal? Pesa inawaambia mwanaume gani anaenda nyumbani sahihi? Wanaume sahihi ndio wanatembea Pesa money telling you. So when you are a poor personal financial manager, and I believe none of you is there, you are a potential risk because you are a potential thief. Hallelujah. Look at it this way. This debt of 11-point-something trillion. This debt of 11-point-something trillion. If we only invested even 90% of that money, in Singapore munaongea tungekuwa huko. Tunaongea we want to become like Singapore, but every time 100,000 ikiingia 80,000 tunakula. 20,000 cannot take us to Singapore. Hakuna. So if you want your Sacco to be a prosperous Sacco, to be a leading Sacco, look at the socio-economic welfare indicators of members. Are members living in better houses? Are they dressing well? Are they eating well? Are their children going to good schools? Are they living in good houses? Are they driving good cars? If they are not, and the Sacco is going up, kuna kashida mahali. We need to go back to the drawing board. Possible risks in poor debt management. Kenyans love money. Kenyans will borrow until they breathe their last. Kenyans. Mtu wako kwa hosi, ICU, bado naongea, anasema lete form ya loan. And especially akisikia kulikuwa na nyongeza ya mshahara, lete form ya loan. Oh, my country, Kenya. Yet I know without debt, there is no development. But debt, when misused, creates poverty and pain. If a leader of a Sacco does not utilize his laws well, he or she will lack moral authority to talk to members about how well they should use their money. You know, your first cardinal role is to educate members on how they should use their laws. But you know some Kenyans they lack moral authority because hata watu wanajua wakipata pesa, they go home at 1 a.m. Wakichukua loan, hata wengine, there was a time I was doing some training in Meru, and I didn't know that Mera iko na do. So kuna huyu jamaa alikunywa pombe alafu akaleta shida kai kulipa. So they wanted to beat him. And he was poorly dressed. Waacha kasirike na aanze kumwaga pesa kwa meza. Hapa 1,000 ilikuwa kwa hiyo. kwa hiyo jacket. Na niliambiwa hawa watu wakitumia these vehicles of Mira zinakuja Nairobi kwa fujo, zinaenda na pesa, they leave the money to the tycoon, the owners. Now I need 1-2 weeks. Pesa inawaambia a man without money cannot go back to a woman, to a wife. Kuna ama chama kama concubine kama shati na wako wengi wanajua kunusa mahali pesa iko. Na utanaswa. So you will lack moral authority to tell members to use their money well. Number 2, he or she may become perpetually broke. Na vile nimesema, he might resort into overborrowing. Do you know, I don't know about you people, but the reports I get sometimes, I told you, Nicola, the way I collect information. There's a way I collect information. Nimesikia kuna viongozi wengine, sio nyinyi, wanakopa. Na sio hawezi kwa nyima loan, wanakopa. I tell people, kopa loan, lakini ikifika hapa, stop. Wengine wameboro mpaka imefinya vital organs here. Wengine wameboro mpaka imefunika mdomo. Some, the loan is here and they are down. How will you have a moral authority to teach even your staff, to teach your members on how to utilize their loans well and service their loans? A SACCO managed by a person of this character on matters money can easily collapse. We are talking about leading the SACCOs beyond us. How can you lead a SACCO beyond you if you are perpetually broke, not because you don't have money, but your affinity to getting loan after loan and squandering it hits the sky? How can you? Me, I'm not talking about you people. Are you together? I'm talking about generally. General talk. I don't know about you, how you use your money. I don't know. I'll be pretending. Look at this gentleman. Do not borrow to the extent of running away from your creditors. Do not suffocate with loans, my brother, my sister. What a man can do, a woman can do better. Mulikuwa mnajifanya nyinyi mnajua kukunywa pombe late into the night. Now the modern woman can also go and sit on those ice stools. Zinaitwa tina? Cab. Na hapo na pesa. If she's not ready, she'll call a cab. So unampatia. By the way, are you people still rushing pombe for ladies in the bar? I don't know. Long time ago, unaona dema amekaa pale anakunywa kasoda, unaita waiter, peleka hii. Alafu dema anakuangalia, anasema hii. Alafu unakunywa polepole unaangalia, before you know it, you have shifted to that table. Do you still do that? I don't know. Do you still do that? Money. Everybody loves money. I also love it. I will be cheating if I tell you I don't love money. But money can melt. Money can melt. Today we are rich. Tomorrow we are poor. How? When I was growing up, there was a very rich man in my village. Very rich. The Boma was fed. Yani, even if you look through, you could not see. The guy was a former chief, a former senior chief. Now when I look at that home, I ask myself, what is money? Every boy in that home died. Why? Because of poverty, because of extravagance. Some of them went to Germany and came back with old German women. Yeah, women who are, have you ever seen the record? You see when somebody gets old, easy, those are the women they came back with. Sooner the women died and that home is now devastated. So today I'm here to tell you, yes, you have money. Yes, you have money today. Tomorrow you may not have that money. But you must do certain things. And as I talk to you, I'm also talking to myself. Because this is something that pricks me in the heart. You see, it's like I'm telling myself, Donge, now you have money, but tomorrow you may become a beggar. That pains me. That possibility is there for everybody. Wealth or money, if not well taken care of, can melt and disappear very fast from our hearts. Just like waters of River Tana disappear into the Indian Ocean during heavy floods, so can our wealth disappear. So let us protect our wealth with every tool we have. Many people believe they use their money well. Lakini kwa ground, mambo ni tofauti. In fact, there are people who have not even come for this training and talking about money. What I know, but kwa ground. That's why every time I hear there's a training about money, I will go. Because I'm still struggling. Look at River Tana. Inamwaga maji kwa Indian Ocean. That is how your money itaingia na itapotea. Inaingia inapotea. You know, things have changed. Things have changed. You know, I've been training since the year 2000, the movement. And when I tell you I've gone to 44 counties out of 47, I'm not lying. We used to, that time, this hotel was very small. Most of the trainings were done at KETSA. And there's a time I organized a training like this, and it used to be attended by about 200 directors and CEOs. Two things. There's a day I was going for training in the morning at around 8. Saa hiyo ndio wanaume wanarudi, wametoka Mtwapa. They are wobbling. Then there's another time I was woken up in the middle of the night, around 3 a.m. Ati watu wako wanakaa kupigana hapa kwa reception. Nikienda napata wanaume wawili na mzinga. Mnajua mzinga? Na mzinga na koo kubwa na mwanamke mmoja. Na wote wanataka huyo mwanamke. Sasa nashindwa kwa nini hawangekuja na wanawake wawili? Wanakuja kunisumbua siku za 9. What have I not seen in this training? Yaani unakuja na mwanamke mmoja alafu unaanza kugombana naje na ile na yeye. Sasa unashindwa. Na wani waje nisiseme sio zote director. Hawa ni watu wakubwa. So the question is, why should we discuss about money with men and women who are highly educated like you are? Why? 3 reasons or 4. Number 1, and it is true, majority of people who are on salary live like the end will not come. They are happy getting money at the end of every month. Then all is well. Then they are business people. When the money is coming in, many of them forget that the business can collapse. Many people lead extravagant, extractive lifestyles. They are happy living on the surface of economic life. Let me tell you what living on the surface of economic life means. Number 1, you can dress well. No, you dress well. You drive a good car. You take your children to good school. You eat well. You live in a good house. But kazi ikisimamishwa, kilio. That is a man or a woman living on the economic surface of life. If you are there, my brother, my sister, change course. Because this is kazi, sio zetu. In fact, if you're on salary, this thing I repeat everywhere. If you're on salary and you are not employed by your mother, my friend, your job can go any time. It's only mothers who are caring. Fathers will tell you, my brother, unanyoa kama mimi, toka mbele yangu. Lakini mama, when the mother fires you, she will not sleep that night. She's saying now, mtoto yako atakula nini? Wajukuu watakula nini? Before you know it, umeitwa job. Some people argue kwa Mungu Baba, nitoka uchi kwa Mungu Baba, ninarudi uchi. That is true. Who will not? You know, the other day I went to Kiambu. Somebody who left behind 20 billion shillings. Mimi wakuza, kama kuna wakuza hapa, behave like Ida is behaving. Mzee amekufa, amezikwa na utoki, na kila asubuhi unaenda kwa kaburi. That is us. Hata mimi nilikuwa na bibi yangu niwache hapo anakuja Nairobi. I'll stop that vehicle. Rudi. Nichunge. Kwani unaenda kufanya nini? So I went to Kiambu. There's a bush there where some who left behind 20 billion. Alienda akawekwa hapo na jioni kila mtu akarudi Nairobi. So mimi nashindwa, why do we labor so much, not in the right way, making billions, then finally utatupwa kwa kichaka. Then in heaven unauliza maswali. Hiyo pesa 20 billion umepata aje? Account for it. All these, the things I've said, can have financial management issues. They can define how you spend, how you save, how you mobilize savings, and how you take loan, and how you collect loan, how you invest it, and finally, they determine the quality of retirement we will have. Kama kuna discussion a lot of people don't want to have is this retirement. When I left campus, I was only 25, fresh, handsome, brilliant. But now look at me. I'm an old man, but I'm still brilliant, but I'm an old man. Hiyo utatoa kwangu. Akili yangu naenda nayo. So, the question I'm asking here today, you are 40, you'll be 60 before you know it. Are you preparing that bed? Are you preparing that bed? Economic vision and impact on wealth creation. Remember I told you an economic vision is drawing a blueprint, an economic blueprint in your mind and in your heart, saying this is what I want to have in the next 10, in the next 20 years. How many of us have got an economic vision, have got an economic blueprint, well done in our heads and printed in our minds, that helps us to navigate how the end will be, God willing. The vision pushes you or me to come up with critical projects where total cost is known, sources of funds are known, where timelines are drawn, and where strategies are well spelled. The strategy pushes you to work with the end in mind. You see, majority of us, and I am also included there, we eat every day. We eat every day. Subconsciously, we think about tomorrow, but critically, many of us don't think about tomorrow. Why? Because we don't have an economic vision. Why? Because we don't have an economic blueprint. So we eat and consume as we get money. How good is your economic vision? You who is seated here, for you and your Sacco that you lead. How good is your economic vision? For you, for your family, and for the Sacco that you lead. Look at these two giraffes. Some of you, not all, I don't want to lie to you. Some of you are like that giraffe with a long neck. You need vision out. They eat with tomorrow in mind. But some of you, that small giraffe, kwa Mungu Baba tulitoka uchi, na kwa Mungu Baba tunarudi uchi. Wacha turanue pesa, kwani kuna nini? Wewe umenifanyia hiyo kazi, si mimi nimefanya hiyo kazi, ranua. Lakini tomorrow is waiting for us. The good thing, I don't know whether I should say the good thing or unfortunate thing is, nobody knows for how long you are going to live here. Who knows? So I normally tell myself and people that spend like you're going to die tomorrow, but don't spend like you're going to live for another 40 years. Sasa ukiranua yote, and God decides to give you 40 more years, what will you be eating? You'll be cursing. We want to be men and women who will not curse people in old age. A friend of mine was a very good husband, but the Lord blessed him with a good job. His salary was tripled. This one changed. He started coming home late. He started tasting alcohol. He was born again. He stopped going to church. Then he bought a car. He started sleeping out. Money, if money comes. My brothers, my sisters, mwambie Mungu akupatie hekima kwanza ndio pesa ikuje. Otherwise, hiyo pesa itakupeleka kaburini ama itavuja ndoa yako hiyo pesa. I want more money, but God please give me wisdom. And God has given me money, but niko na wisdom kidogo. I need more wisdom so that money does not take me away from God, money does not take me away from my wife. Money. You know, money has a way of telling you your wife is old and ugly. You know that? Money has a way of telling you this husband is stupid, maswalala, money. Yet on the day of the wedding day, it was the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. What happened? Money without wisdom. Hata kuna wengine sio hapa wanatoka conference alafu wanadivert. Wanapiga simu ati the workshop was extended. Ni pesa. Pesa inakuambia ya lawe nzeli watu unarudisha wapi? Binti yako wajibwa matieno ama Njoroge ama Donge kwanza. Retirement and legacy planning. Why are they critical in this management at Sacco level? Why is it so important for us to think and dream and work retirement? Why is it important for us to think, dream and work legacy planning? What is it that I'm leaving behind? What will you leave behind? You just want to nauliza leo. Yes, you are going to retire, but what are you leaving behind? How do you want to leave the Sacco when you're at sea? Number one, do you want to leave an economically limping Sacco, big Sacco, growing Sacco, or a sustainable Sacco? Do you want to leave behind a Sacco full of records and dysfunctional teams at the board level and management level? Do you want to leave behind a Sacco which is scandal-ridden and one where honesty, integrity, and transparency are not the hallmarks of your leadership? Do you want to leave behind the best and well-managed Sacco where people are joining in droves and one where people are streaming out? Which Sacco do you want to leave behind? Retirement and legacy. What will people remember you about during your leadership? When you are at the board or when you are at the management level, will they say, had so and so been here? Easy vitu ndogo ndogo asingekuwa zinatusumbua. Had so and so been. That is the prayer for me, for you. That by the time you are leaving, watu watasema, Mungu asante sana kutupatia staff kama huyu. Asante sana kutupatia director kama huyu. Kwa sababu wanajua yale umefanya. You've left behind a beautiful legacy. Everybody comes and looks in as the Sacco moves forward in making money. What do you want to leave behind? Legacy. Look at this young man, and this young man could also be your son. What am I saying here? A picture of a young accountant at 3 years old, working very hard in the office. He is full of energy and a mountain of positive, great ideas or great goals to achieve. But a strong retirement foundation, driven by good savings and investment, may not be in his mind there. He lives well for the day. How many of our children are living well, living life for today? Yesterday, someone who picked me from SDR was telling me about he has got 4 sons. They rarely go home, and sometimes he's forced to repair their homes. When he's repairing his, na watoto wanafanya kazi. They drive good cars. They live well. But sometimes, as fathers and mothers, we are forced to chip in, kutoa aibu. Because kama nyumba ya mtoto inaanguka kwa boma yako, si hata hii aibu inakushika. Ama you don't care. This young man is very busy working and earning, but tomorrow is not in his mind. He's a today man. Look at this day where most of you are. Some of you, not most. A male senior head teacher in the office, and is catching up with him. Yet there are things he has not done to secure a good retirement foundation. He enjoyed life then. There was no good saving. There were no investments. What happens now? While his anxiety and stress cloud his mind, he asks, what the hell am I retiring into? Hii ni legacy gani sasa? What kind of legacy is this? I saw something on Facebook, social media, of some people who have reached age 59. Na sasa wanaenda kwa offices, they are filling forms for disability. The retirement age is kubwa mpaka 65. Nilicheka, nikasema angalia wajinga. Yaani Mungu amekupatia afya, you are walking, you are seeing, you only want lift up, then you now want to fake disability. Do you know what? Some of them will get that letter after paying 300,000. Then they get jobs for the next 5 years. That's the Kenya we live in. Kwa sababu walikataa kujipanga. Tuache hivi, not you. How watu wache hivi? You are not can't do this. You know, even me sometimes I sit in the office and I hold my hand. When I look at my savings, when I look at my net worth, and ask myself, will this thing sustain me for the years the Lord will give me? I don't get a straight yes answer. I don't know about you. Me as again, I behave like this man. Nashika kichwa. There's a day I was eating, just me and my wife. We are enjoying tilapia apple. But deep inside, I'm looking at her and I'm asking myself, if I die now, will my wife continue to enjoy this kind of life? Do you people sometimes sit down and think about tomorrow? Ama kazi ya watu kurarua tu. Then look at this beautiful young lady. She's about 50 something, but because of makeup and whatever, she looks like she's 36, but she's 56. A female senior head teacher in the office, retirement is beckoning, and she's least prepared for it. Her last one is in grade 8. She did not invest to create sustainable wealth. She was busy catwalking when younger. Worries, stress, anxiety are drowning her now. The question is, hii ni legacy gani? Hii ni legacy gani? When it comes to savings, most people work, and I used to work, we are not very good in saving. In fact, when you tell people who are salaried to increase their savings, they even want to hit you. They're even asking, who you are talking to? Nipate hiyo pesa wapi? So I don't know how much you people save per month, but if you're saving 5,000 per month, it will take you 17 years to save 1 million. But if you boost your savings and you save 10,000 shillings per month, it will take you only 8 years to save 1 million. But if you're well blessed and you are thinking about tomorrow and you're committing 20,000 per month, it will take you only 4 years to save 1 million. A savings culture legacy that secures your retirement and leaves behind members who have copied and applied savings culture at the Sacco. Living beyond the Sacco, in terms of savings, are you living behind a Sacco where members have got a savings culture? Wanaongeza tu saving, because you as a leader, you have led them to believe and to know that their future for tomorrow depends on how much they save today. How many times have we been told that let us use our youth to feed us in old age? One of the things I regret so much about is I did not productively use my youth to prepare for my old age. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. Look at these age groups I want to put here. From 0 to 3, we are babies. From 3 to 25, we are in school. From 26 to 30, we are newly employed. Many of us are extravagant. Few say. From 31 to 40, most of us are married, having children, paying fees. Some of us think savings. Some of us think investment. most do not. From 41 to 50, where majority of you are, some children are in college, heavy spending on fees, savings and investment become a common talk in your savings and investment, but finances are getting committed. So some act on the top, some do not. 51 to 60, where a few of you are, some children through education, anxiety about retirement sets in, panic is real, there's a rush to do things, but budget may not allow because of many other pressing things. I'm here to submit to you, between, I call it 31 to 50 years, economic make or break age group or age bracket. If you lose it there, my friend, count yourself among the poor people who will beg on the street. Unless a miracle happens, miracles can happen. You can become a governor or a peer of a governor or a peer of a CS. Or you can be appointed in state house. You make money. But come away, become a mimi. Come away, become a mimi. If you slept on the job between 31 and 50, only a miracle. Only a miracle. Look at this beautiful house. Are you seeing that house? You can build a bungalow, you can build a mansion. If it's a bungalow, put your bedroom hapa kwa kona. Unaona hapo kona? Weka bedroom hapo kwa kona, if it's a bungalow. If it is a mansion, just like I told you last time, as you build a beautiful matrimonial bedroom hapo juu, tengeneza hapa chini kwa sababu unarudi hapo, upende usipende, if the Lord gives you more year. Because your leg will not carry you out. Utarudi hapo. So kama ni mansion, think twice. Kama ni bungalow, sawa, weka bedroom hapo na iwe kitu mzuri. Look at this picture. Unless we create wealth and use it well, we may end up wasted in our later years of life. Assets and our bodies go through wear and tear. We need money to maintain them. Those of us who work in towns and have houses at home, you'll agree with me that if you stay for 3 months before you go home, ukienda unapata cobweb, a house which is not occupied, kama inaleta cracks, inaita cracks, when a house is not habitable. So what here I'm saying, if you don't have money later on in life to maintain your house and your body, your house will crack like that and your body will be tortured like that old man there. Now unajua, this is the time our wives leave us to go and visit their children abroad, or to go and visit their children in town. Na wanakaa kukaa, wewe baki hapo. Na nyumba ndio hiyo. Wamama mnatupesa. Mimi naomba mke wangu asinitese as we move towards the sunshine, the sunset years. Ama unafikiri unajipitia mama ameenda kutembelea watoto wake na hataki akiangalia skin anaona imekuwa soft, anasema siendi kwa baba yenu, yule mtu ananitazama sirudi. But let me tell you the secret. If you are rich, your wife will leave you just technically and come back, because anajua akienda na wewe una pesa jokia majina anaweza ingia. Lakini kama wewe ni fukara, look at this payslip. I can see a lot of us are still on salary. Look at this payslip which is tormented. And who is savings plan due to mismanaged payslip, due to poor personal financial management of a middle manager. This is a middle manager. No escape to pain and tears. Retirement. This guy earns 180,000. Then the Ruto's government takes 60,000, 851. Then he contributes 5,000 for Sacco. Then he has a loan, development loan 8K. Akona school fees loan 5K. Akona salary advance 5K. Huyu jamaa amechukua loans. Akona emergency loan 4K. Amechukua furniture loan 6K. Total deduction this pay 93,851. Continue next pay. When you have a very long pay slip, my brother, continue next pay. Rent, okay, 25K. Utilities, 10K. Food, 30K. Fare and fuel, 10K. Others, 5K. Total deduction this pay, 77,000. Because the net was good, but now the net is tortured. How do you laugh? Where do you get the smile? Where? You don't even sit for sitting room. Straight to the bedroom. Now add loans from SACOs, mobile phone apps, and other financial institutions. Then it is a total financial crisis. You cannot save more. You cannot build a strong retirement base with a tortured base. You cannot. Yet the truth is, most salaried people have got what I call a tortured pay slip. They are what I call a crying pay slip. Ukiona mtu anatembea pay slip namna hii na ana smile, that's a good pay slip. Lakini ukiona jamaa anaangalia pay slip na saa zingine ako na glasi ya tawalo hivi, na wengine wanakasirika wanaikuja kunya wanaitupa, na wengine wanakasirika wanaikuja kunya na wanakula. How do you kula pay slip? I'm about to finish. Succession planning, and it's important in risk management. The entire discussion was about risk management, and I want to tell you, if you do not do a proper succession planning, my brother, you're not a manager. Succession planning. What is it? This is a process of identifying and developing new leaders who can replace current leaders when they leave, or when there's a reshuffle, or when they are sacked, or when they retire, or unfortunately, when they die. This is a process of identifying and developing new talent in the staff or the leaders that you have. It involves developing internal people with the potential through a systematic evaluation process and training them to fill key business leadership positions in an institution when there is need, and more so when the need is abrupt. Sometimes you can have a full board meeting with your CEO there. Then in the middle of the night, you get an email. Have you signed? If you are not trained people, there'll be trouble. Succession planning involves evaluating each individual's skills, identifying skill gaps, and deliberately training them to take over roles when the current occupants exit. No vacuum in management, no disruption in business operations. That most of us don't do succession planning. So what legacy are you leaving behind? Leadership that plans and leaves a good legacy. Number one, this is that leadership that does an objective. If you want to know a leadership that will live long beyond after they exit, that leadership must do what I call objective succession planning for key roles. Number two, that leadership creates strong administrative structures, processes, and systems that all staff subscribe to. That Sacco will stay long after you exit. That leadership that produces growing business and sustainable results founded on strong business structures. That leadership that ensures best management practices are in place to prevent losses. That leadership that inculcates what I call impeccable customer service delivery among staff. That leadership that is accountable, transparent, and full of integrity. that does not entertain mediocrity, tribalism, or favoritism in HR placements, credit management, or tendering processes. This is the kind of a leader that 10 years after she leaves or he leaves, the Sacco continues to shine. And when you walk into where any branch is, staff trying to say hi to you because they know what you did. Many times I'm in Meru shopping, I'm going to do some training in Sacco toothpaste. I'm buying toothpaste, then somebody taps me at the back, Mr. Donge, how are you? I'm looking at him, I don't know him. Who are you? And you told me 10 years ago, and there's one thing you told me that I need to save. Na nijenge nyumba yangu pole pole so that in 5 years I live in my house. Today, Mr. Donge, I'm living in a 3-bedroom house in Meru town. And they thanked me. That is what I want to be said about you. That because of you, my children went to school. Because of you, I built a house. Because of you, I took loans and bought a car. Because of you, I took a loan and built a beautiful house. Unless you are evil, such statements will make your heart bubble with joy. Some advantages of successful succession planning for seamless business continuity. What are some of the advantages we get when we do succession planning? What are some of them? Number one, succession planning creates a big pool of well-trained and highly motivated staff who can easily fill vacancies when their seniors exceed. Number two, succession planning ensures smooth transition of power of key leadership roles in an institution for seamless business continuity. Do you know some chairmen are so good, but what if they leave suddenly? Some SACCOs can. Is there somebody among the leadership, the finance and admin? Is there somebody we can train just in case something happens and we go home? Succession planning enables employees to easily share and internalize company value and vision because they can see that when opportunities arise, the company will not go out shopping. The company will pick some of them from there. Risk management is enhanced and changes are smooth. The last two slides, then I quit, then I leave here. There are some lies and truths about retirement and succession planning. Number one, that it allows you time, when you retire, it allows you time to do the things you had wanted to do earlier, but did not have time for. It is true. When you retire, there's a lot of time to do things. Number two, that you can easily become poor and a beggar if you did not plan for your exit. Very true. Utaomba if you did not plan. Nitaomba if you did not plan. That you will be economically irrelevant. This is untrue unless you enjoy life and extravagance at the expense of saving and investing. Number four, that you will leave behind a sustainable business if you did not do objective succession planning. True. When you do proper succession planning, it does not matter who exceeds. We will get a man or a woman who can easily take that role. That you may be suffocated with boredom in retirement. True and false. If you want to be bored when you retire, chagua lako. If you want to be a man full of enthusiasm, a man full of vigor, or a woman who is happy, you can find your way out. That those being groomed to take, this is now for succession planning, that those being groomed to take your position may despise you before you exceed. False and true. Kuna watu wengine, when they know you are training them to take over, wanakuwa vichwa ngumu. But there are some of them who are very grateful. So do not fear. Number seven, that you will lose about 95% of your current business and professional colleagues. Very true. I want to submit to you, the day you retire, 95, after about 2 years, you will not be talking to about 95% of people you see here. I show you people laughing and hugging, hug, laugh, when the time is still there. Wakati itakuja utangoja, hata ukipiga hiyo simu hawachukui. Number 8, that without you the decision will collapse. Lies. Who told you? Unaona huyu jamaa alimwambia huyu president wa Tanzania alimwambia, who told you that if you're not there Tanzania will not? Na akasema the first prominent leader to say he does not recognize that lady's presidency. Sisi wote tumenyamaza, tunasema hallelujah, tumeshinda. Sawa tu. Number 9, that you may return to your village after all these years penniless if you are not utilize your earnings well. Very true. Nimeona watu wamekuja na paper bag. Do you know time will come when you lose your job in town, your wife says, sirudi Sacco, unarudi nyumbani na paper bag. The last time you went home was 20 years ago. Hata boma yako your shamba has been taken over by your brothers. Number 10, that your property may be auctioned if you never plan now. If you never plan how to utilize your loan properly, or you continue to take loan after loan, even when you should have been reducing your liabilities. True. There's time for everything. Say to loan, invest. Then time comes when you now have to reduce your liabilities as you approach 60. Don't go home with a big loan, my friend. Utalala. That your marriage can easily break up unless you had planned well financially. Very true. When you get older, una pesa, huyo mama anaweza kukuacha. Wacha niwaambie ukweli. My wife is old, but the other day she shocked me. She told me, look at me. If I go out, I can still get married. For the next 2 years, so the next 2 days, she could have vizuri. I'm looking at that woman, okay, yes, you can get a man, hakuna shida. Lakini all these years nataka kuniwacha hapa. There's every possibility tunaweza wachwa. So my brother, my sister, stay with that in your mind. Hii nimeweka kwa red because it's important to me that you can be more useful and continue with even a better socio-economic life, even if you invested well in you. As for your family, what am I saying? I'm saying, even after retirement, you can really enjoy if you invested well. So let me conclude by saying, number 1, have good financial discipline. Treasure every shilling that you have, my brother, my sister. Have a good roadmap towards your retirement through good savings and well-coordinated prudent investment. Number 3, do not live a life of extravagance today and then retire very poor tomorrow. Number 4, do a systematic and objective succession planning so that replacement from within becomes easy and less expensive when senior staff exceed. Number 5, and the last statement, creating positive legacies that outlive you is the greatest treasure you can give to yourself or family.